Welcome to the Urban Wall Street Project. I'm your host, Earl Christian III, of course. And today I have a dynamic brother in the house with me. He's been doing some serious things in fashion for over 15 years. He's my brother from HU, of course. You know how we do it.
Yes.
We're going to talk to you about the history of his clothing design, Meezan Art Couture. He's been very integral in fashion. Without further ado, I want to introduce Mr. Kenya Abdul-Hadi. Kenya, what's good, brother?
Everything good. What's going on there?
It's all good, man. It's all good. Definitely happy to get you in the building.
Oh, it's a
been a
pleasure.
long time. Our schedule's been, you know, crazy, but we're here now. Let's talk about it.
Yes, sir.
So Meezan Art Couture, that's where we are now. I know you've been doing your thing for a minute, but let's talk about fashion and when your beginnings started.
Okay, for me, it pretty much started as a youth, growing up in the city of Philadelphia. That city is very fashionable and very trendy, so in high school, you had to be up on the latest, as I'm sure in a lot of other cities. We wore the latest sneakers, the latest clothing. It kind of turned into a hobby, and then when I went to college, I turned it into a business.
Okay. Now, I remember, you know, being on campus. When I saw you last night, we were going to talk about some things we saw last night, some of the designs.
Right.
But I remember one of the first lines for me was Tribe Vibe. You were doing the hats, and I remember having the green, neon green with the orange, and it was serious. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was very authentic, and it was only one of a kind. I remember, if I can remember at the time, each hat was like one of a kind. You just did one of them, so no one would be walking around with the same different hat. Right?
Absolutely. That was pretty much our primary concept with Tribe Vibe. It was a one-of-a-kind concept. Every individual piece was individually done for the person. So no one would have the exact same shirt. So we did that probably in like '88. We started that company, and it started right at the campus of Howard University. We were running around doing our thing. And it kind of evolved from there. I took it to a few stores in the DC area. I wound up getting into Nordstrom's at one point in around 1990.
I remember that.
So that was a good look for us, and then it kind of evolved from there. At that time, I was pretty much new. I didn't really know anything about the fashion game. I was just kind of learning, you know, feeling my way through it. So we started taking it to different stores throughout the country. It started picking up. We started taking it to a lot of different television shows at the time, like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Martin, The Martin Show, In Living Color, the first season of The Real World. So we had a lot of placement as far as in a particular black media.
Right.
So that helped out a lot, but there wasn't a lot of urban or black stores at the time. So that was our first line, and then it kind of evolved from there.
Right. Now, I commend you, of course, because you've been doing your thing, you've been focused. You know, I once thought you was going to be like the ultimate photographer, because I remember you used to always have the camera, but I guess you was just capturing imagery of fashion that you were going to make, which is a beautiful thing.
Right.
I know a lot of people want to get into fashion. You know, a lot of cats want to be models, or they want to be fashion designers, especially a lot of females. I meet a lot of young girls in high school through the program I produce. And there's a lot, there's a lot that goes into, being in fashion. It's not all just making clothes. It's definitely a business. So I want you to just kind of educate me and my people, because it's all about edutainment with the Urban Wall Street Project. I want to prepare that next generation.
Okay.
So I want to talk about some of the, the pros and cons, some things people need to be prepared for if they really want to get into this arena of fashion.
The fashion business is very broad and vast, so it's many aspects. It's styling, it's buying, it's retail stores. So we kind of cover the gamut as far as what we do. We also have retail stores in Philadelphia. We also, do fashion shows, and we also produce our own line. So it can range from wherever you want to get in. It's opportunity, but it's not easy. Like with anything, you have to be committed to it. You have to be focused, and you have to love it.
Okay, now you said 3 things. Now, say someone's coming to you like, Mr. Hadi, I saw you, I've been following your line, I really think this is what I want to do. Can you give me the 3 things I really need to make sure I prepare myself for, the 3 things I really need to know before I decide this is what I want to do, I get entrenched? What's the first 3 things you would tell somebody?
Well, I would tell the first thing, you should have some knowledge about the business.
Okay.
Like, you don't want to go into that business without knowing some of the players in the business, some of the retailers that you'll be probably taking your product to, the language of the business. So it's information that you can get from the library. There's also bookstores, anywhere you can get information that's going to better prepare you to be able to maneuver through that industry. So knowledge is going to be key.
Right. And another?
After knowledge, it would be some experience.
Right.
Get underneath somebody who's maybe in the industry so that you can have some experience. Unlike myself, I learned on my own, unfortunately. I didn't have a big brother or my dad or anybody that was involved in the fashion industry, so I had to do it for 20 years to figure out, okay, no, you don't just take it and sell it on the street and do this and do that. You're actually supposed to go to a trade show, take it to a buyer, So this is over a 20-year, time period.
Right.
And now I'm to the point where I'm at now, but I didn't know that at that point.
Right,
So
of course.
if somebody was saying, can you listen, don't do this, do that, it would have made my journey a lot easier, but at least I know now.
No question. Now, you said something very key, and I like terms because a lot of people may hear them, but they might not know exactly what it is. For my audience watching that may not know, what is a trade show, Kenya?
Oh, in the fashion business, a trade show is a place where exhibitors or a person like myself who may have a clothing line would go to a particular venue and showcase their brand to stores, maybe nationally or internationally, so that they could buy your brand and put it in their particular store.
So is that like, in Vegas, I know in Vegas annually they have, is that a trade show they have in Vegas? I know a couple of cats who've been in fashion. They got Phil Pabon, who we know from Howard.
Absolutely.
He told me he was out in Vegas showing a new line or buying. Is that like a major trade show goes on out there?
Yeah, domestically, Vegas is probably the biggest trade show. It happens twice a year, and it's called the Magic Show. So I've probably been going to the Magic Show since around '96. That was my first time, and I've been going ever since '96. There used to be a couple here in New York, Jacob Javits, but now it's a project show here in New York, which is twice a year as well. It's a little smaller than Magic, but really good brands.
Okay, so I know the history. We had Tribe Vibe, that was the beginning, and then I know after Tribe Vibe, you started dabbling in another design.
Right.
I think you had jumpsuits at one time. We was talking about it.
Right.
What was it like? Now it was Enduro. Now there was a company called Enduro.
Right.
Where you what was your capacity at that particular time?
Well, Tribe Vibe was a T-shirt brand. Enduro was another T-shirt brand with a few other items outside of the T-shirt category. That was in around '96 we started that. At this particular time, I was still in D.C. So this line, I finally found out about trade shows. Prior to that, Tribe Vibe, I was taking my product through cultural events, festivals, things of that nature, disseminating it throughout the country that way. So with Enduro, bumped into the Magic in '96. So now I'm at trade shows, I'm at Jacob Javits Center. So now I'm starting to get stores throughout the country. So now it's evolving, and I did probably the Enduro line for around 2000. So I did that line for about 4 years.
Okay. And then you got to Enduro, you got your feet wet in there. Okay, I got this thing. Now I'm going to the next step. And then the next design was?
My next line after that was Mizan.
Mizan, right.
Which was a very popular, it was basically a rebirth of Tribe Vibe with the new name. It was the same concept. We're going to take a one-of-a-kind product, something that's not able to be mass-produced, and we mass-produced it. So we did basically hand-done T-shirts, and we disseminated it throughout the country and actually throughout the world.
Right. Now, I know another big thing has to come with fashion. It's expensive. When you see people with clothing lines, you got to get them designed, manufactured, patterns, all the different things. Is that somebody that thinks they want to do this, how well prepared do they need to be financially, Kenya?
You have to be ultimately prepared financially. Normally what happens is you try to partner up with a manufacturer who will take care of all of those elements for you on the back end. If you're a designer, you kind of want to concentrate on developing your concept and focusing in on marketing and selling it. However, sometimes you have to do it all. But it's better to have somebody who's in China, maybe they're producing the product for you, warehousing it, and then shipping it, and all you have to do is, design it and make sure the colors are right, make sure the fabrics are right. It's a lot easier that way.
Okay. Now, I know it's very important to have a strong team when you're doing your thing, right?
Absolutely.
You've been rocking with your team for a moment.
Yes, about 20 years my team been together.
20 years. So now we're 20 years later, and we stepping into the game with Meezan Art Couture. And I got to tell you, my people, Mizan is a hot situation. I got some of the fabrics, but you're going to see in a little bit. Right. But I know I caught up with you last night because I know you was in town for an event. Right. And, we got a chance to talk to one of your partners, and we saw some of the different designs you had from the spring or the fall.
Yes.
All right, so we want to check some of that out. Check this out, Meezan Art Couture. It's a serious situation. Feel the vibe.
Yeah, I'm Tawfiq, man. I'm basically street team for Meezan Art Couture, man. I'm all over the country, man. Visiting stores, trying to get the brand out there. Basically, what we have here is spring and summer holidays. Kind of mixed it up, some dope stuff that we had that just came out. This is our varsity jacket. It's a tonal varsity jacket with the wool body, tonal leather sleeves, ribbed collar, and on the shoulder, real nice patch. Chanel patches on the front. Got a satin lining, real comfortable. It's our track jacket, nylon track jacket. Charlie Brown on the back. Hoodie. So, raglan style hoodie. Pin on the back. This is actually our denim that's coming out for fall. You know, distressed paint splashes. Got a little dirty denim look to it. You know, premium denim. We got premium denim. You know, straight leg or boot cut, you know. These are the 5-pocket twills. It's shaped like a jean, but it's made of a khaki material. So it's real comfortable for the spring, summertime. We did these in pop colors, and we also did them in neutral colors too. It's the cargo pant, classic cargo. Bellow pockets on the side, bellow pockets in the back, inside wash. Lay right over top of the boots. Real comfortable look. This is our spring denim. This is available right now. It's in stores right now. Self-fabric piecing on the back with the back flat pockets, like distress, whiskering. This is spring as well. Spring denim, classic back pockets, wash down, wrinkles, has like a little sheen to it. Real comfortable, lightweight jean for the spring. These are sweatpants, fashion sweats. Raw edge bottom, button your fly, string, side pockets, and back pockets. So this is a fashion sweat. You can wear these with high-end sneakers or nice little t-shirt V-neck. It's good for the spring. You get a denim button up. It's our crew neck. Got that Adidas. Early 90s Adidas feel to it. It's cut and sewn terry cloth right here. Print over top of it.
It's expensive.
It's our character, Rab Gazelle. It's actually done by hand right here. You're gonna see him a lot. Cut and sewn t-shirt. Same character, different variation. V-neck. It's another Rab Gazelle. Rugby, lightweight rugby. The same t-shirt right here. Call it the PMT. It's the Radiohead tee right here. The hidden pockets on the side, French terry, velvet neck taping. So it's real nice, comfortable, man. Everything is comfortable, real detailed, nice color. You know, the brand has its own direction. Doesn't look like anybody else in the industry. But we got relevant items and pieces that, you know, you can tie back into whatever else that you're doing, whatever style you have. So it's a versatile brand. It's a real good look. So check it out, Meezan Art Couture. Shop MizanOnline.com. Check out our blog, MizanArtCouture.blogspot.com.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm feeling that. Yeah, I enjoyed looking at it last night, so I was glad I happened to have a camera on deck. Just happened to be with me and was able to capture some of that. It's a beautiful situation.
Thanks.
And I saw a lot of different types of fabrics. We had the denim there. We had the terry. Of course, we had the cottons. How important is it to be versed in your fabrics when you step into this fashion game, Kenya?
It's extremely important because you don't want to do a terry cloth sweatsuit in the summertime. You need to know exactly what weight a denim is. You'll do a lighter weight denim in the spring as opposed to fall, winter time. You'll do a heavier weight denim. Also, you may do cotton. You may do a mercerized cotton as opposed to a comb cotton. So it's all about, over time, you'll pick up things and you'll learn, and then you're also touching and feeling all the time. When you're in the store, it's like you're just fondling everything because you need to know, oh, what's this made out of, or what's that made out of? Sometimes you buy a piece and then you send it to your factory, try to figure out how to, make this a part of your line as well.
All right. So now, Meezan Art Couture, the inspiration. I know we got artists, the brothers are doing their things. I know a lot of stuff is, definitely got some artistic flair to it, as your other partner was talking about, how y'all be original and bring something completely different edge to the fashion game. But let's talk about the inspiration of Meezan and where it is and where it's going. I know it's doing the thing.
Right. Mizan basically is an Arabic word which means balance. It's the balance, and Meezan Art Couture is the balance between art and fashion. Our origin is we're basically all artists. Before we were fashion designers, we were all artists, whether it be graffiti, that's basically where we got our start at.
Right.
So we took that and we put our art on the t-shirt, and then it turned into a clothing line. So from Meezan Art Couture, it's basically a combination between Mizan is the balance between art and fashion.
Okay.
So with that, we just try to give people art as well as fashion. I apologize.
And that's key that you say that art and fashion. A lot of people need to realize that because, I think first of all, if you really want to get into fashion, most people who get into it maybe design their own sketches.
Right.
And I've seen some sketches, and you have to be an artist. You can't just, just come up with a scheme or a design without it. So I'm sure that most people realize, would have to agree that you have to have some degree or element of art in your creativity. Now, with your line with Meezan Art Couture, are a lot of those pieces unique, or how do you come up with the concepts for those as well?
A lot of them are mostly mass produced at this particular stage. We've done some things previously which were like unique, one of a kind, but right now the line is pretty much mass produced.
All right. Now, how long has Meezan Art Couture been in existence?
We launched Mizan in 2005.
2005, okay.
Right.
So in 2014, where's Meezan going to be, Kenya?
Well, we want to have Mizan as a lifestyle brand, basically, where you can buy into the whole entire concept, whether it be furniture, whether it be bedding sheets, whether it be plates for your house. We want it to be a whole entire lifestyle.
Okay. And how about the European market? Do you have clothes that are cut like for European style cut? Like, what's the cut on your clothes? Because sometimes, somebody sees something that's hot,
right,
but then it may not be for every particular body size.
I understand. Right. Right now, our clothing is made to fit. If you're size 32, the pants will be able to fit your size. It's not oversized or vanity size where you can't fit it. The 32 is a 36. If you wear 32, you'll be able to wear 32 size pants.
Okay. Now, are you branching into the European market, or you have some things in the European marketplace?
Presently, we don't, but we're looking to get a manufacturer or a distributor in the European market. Previously, we were selling in Japan, and we're looking for another Japanese distributor presently.
Okay. Now, Meezan Art Couture, how many locations is in this? I know it's is it nationwide?
Yeah, it's nationwide.
Okay, that's a beautiful situation. And I know it's here in New York, correct?
Yes, sir. It's actually at YRB in Soho, Yellow Rat Bastard.
Right. Now, yesterday we were at YRB. You were a part of that particular event yesterday. Right. Were you when you were up here for that? What was that particular event about?
That was actually an event that they do annually called How You Rock It. They invite several clothing lines, and then they invite people in to try on the clothes and take pictures for the magazine. So it was kind of an event, and it was also an event for the Busta Rhymes album release party.
Right. That was really cool, really cool. YRB. Have you done some work with them before?
Yeah, previously we did work, and then we've also just relaunched the brand in their store recently.
Okay. So now when people go in the store, when they go in, I want to cop this Meezan Art Couture, what do you want people to get from their clothes? When you throw in a Mizan jacket, like this hot jacket, the shirt you have on right now, this is a shirt, correct? Right. What do you want people to feel when they rock Meezan Art Couture?
Basically, the way we design Mizan is we want it to be something that's basic but also classic. We don't want it to be in your closet this year, and then you look at it next year like, why did I buy that shirt? Right. It's overwhelming, print all over it. We try to make stuff that's classic, that has nice details and good fabrication. So whatever works this year, we want you to be able to wear it in the next 5 years.
Right. Now, the fashion game, I know a lot of times people here today going to more, how have you been able to sustain over the course of 20 years? Because there's people that have come out, hot clothes, and then they seem to vanish. But you've definitely seemed to keep reinventing yourself with different things. How have you been able to maintain, Kay?
It's definitely been a challenge. Like I said, one time you hot, everyone loves you can't get enough of you. The trends change, they want a different look. So you basically have to reinvent yourself. Right. You come out with something this year, it may develop for the next 2-3 years, and then they're on to a new look, then you have to evolve that particular way. But you kind of have to keep a medium ground. You have to keep it basic, where, like I said, it transcends from time to time.
Right. Now, since you started in the beginning, we said Philly's a fashion town. 'Cause I was looking at a lot of brothers, you're definitely fashionable. Is it, but people think New York is the fashion capital, or New York maybe the fashion capital. Is it tough, because some people in different regions, people are watching this show all over the world.
Right.
And a lot of times people might think, well, if I'm not in this location, so I can't get it popping, or I'm not here, or I have to actually go there if I want to do it. Was it tough coming out of Philly to get your clothing line, or does the region you're in really matter, or is it just about the clothing and the brand?
A little bit of both. Actually, it was a kind of benefit when we did Mizan not to be based in New York, because actually New York was the last city to actually jump on top of Mizan. Like, we were hot in LA, hot in Philly, hot all over the country. I would see buyers that I would know from New York, and they'd be like, oh yeah, I'm hearing about it, but I'm not ready yet, blase, blase. 6 months later, they're like, oh man, what's up? I've been trying to, I'm like, I told you 6 months ago,
Right.
jump on, it's about to be something serious. But, New York is that type of town. If they love it, they can't have enough of it, but
Right.
they have to be ready for it.
Right. So how about Philly? Now, being from Philly, I know Philly's real proud of the brothers because y'all been putting it down for a minute. How is it when you go home and you go in the store? That's what I want to ask you. When you go home, you see it, but the first time you walk into the store and you see Meezan Art Couture, like when you walk through the store, other people shopping, or you might see people, looking through it and touch, oh, that's hot. How does that make you feel inside? Just know that's my design. You keep it humble. How does it make you feel?
Well, it actually makes me feel good, but you get a mixed reaction. Sometimes people are like, oh, I don't wear Mizan, or some people, they can't get enough of Mizan. One guy's in the store, oh man, no, I just want Mizan. I'm trying to show him everything else in the store, and I just want Mizan. So it made me feel good, but sometimes people say, I don't wear Mizan. So people have differences of opinions.
Right. Now, we all like that, we have that epiphany, that moment of clarity when, wow, I finally have made it. So when you first saw your first time you saw Mizan in the store, what was the first store that you actually had in? Or was it a boutique, or store, or outlet?
Mizan probably was in Sneaker Villa and Kicks USA in Philadelphia first.
Okay. Now, do you have relationship with other, like when you do your design, do you have any relationship with other, like, accessory type of organizational manufacturers?
Yeah, we have the ability to make hats, pretty much anything footwear, but the market is so saturated right now, you basically want to try to stick to, tops and bottoms, jackets, shirts, and jeans.
Now, I see the logo that you have on a couple of the T-shirts. Would you say that, brother? The logo, the art?
Oh, right. That's a character that we kind of developed and we kind of pushing right now called Rap Gazelle. It's like a fictional character, kind of hip-hop, urban, old-school character.
Now, how many partners do you have in Meezan Art Couture? How many brothers make up the organization?
It's 3 of us.
3 of you. And all of your artists?
Yeah, all of us are
all
artists.
based out of Philly?
Right.
Okay. Now, you know each other growing up?
Yeah, we knew each other in high school.
So now, how beneficial has that been when trying to get your dreams to come to fruition? Because I know sometimes you come together, everybody might not have the same vision, but
Right.
how has it been working with brothers that you've known for over 20 years?
It's been a blessing, actually. Like I said, we grew up with these guys from high school. I went off to college. They were still in Philly. They would be in D.C. It was as if they went to Howard as well, because they would come down, we would do shirts, we would travel around, we would start another brand, we started another brand. So we've been together, we've watched our kids grow up,
Right.
We have wives, kids, so it's like a big, one happy family. And also my son.
Right. Now, how does your son feel, having dad having one of the hottest clothing lines, in the game?
Well, it was an adjustment. He was in high school probably when I was doing Mizan, and Mizan was like a major phenomenon worldwide, but especially in Philly. It took off really big in Philly, so he used to work at the warehouse where we used to produce the shirts, so of course everybody was hot in demand at that time.
Right.
Presently, he's still working with me. He's 22 at the time, so he manages one of the stores in Philadelphia.
So you have it in a store in Philadelphia. Now, we're in Philadelphia. Well, everybody knows in Philadelphia, but if you're not from Philadelphia and you happen to be driving through, you got an event coming up, you need something hot,
Right.
Where can they find it in Philly?
In Philly, you can find it at the Shelton Mall. It's a store called Camouflage. It's our store. And we also have a store at 29th and Girard called Industry.
Okay. L.A.?
L.A., I'm not sure the name of the store in L.A. that it's at.
Atlanta?
Atlanta, wow.
But
I'm not the sales rep, so I don't know all of it.
Look, I'm hitting your head. It's so good, but you know what? But I definitely appreciate you coming through. You got a hotline. I've been proud of you for a long time.
Thanks.
Happy that you
Appreciate
was able to make it happen. If there's any final words of advice, suggestion, encouragement you have to my audience that's watching, young people, look in the eye, let them know what they need to get prepared for if they really want to do this, can you?
Right. Whatever it is that you focus on, stay focused, work hard, stay committed. A lot of long nights, a lot of missing meals, but it's going to be worth it in the end. Just stay focused on your dreams.
No doubt, no doubt. As always, you know, I want to thank my guest, Mr. Kenya Abdul-Hadi, for being here. Meezan Art Couture is hot. You know, you're going to be seeing it. You know, I rock the fashions, and we're going to represent. And I'm going to follow them, you know what I'm saying? We're going to bring them back, and we're going to do some shows, get some of them trade shows. But you know, at the Urban Wall Street, anything that you want to do, you can put your mind to it, you can accomplish it. Never give up, stay focused, stay determined. Diligence is key. Integrity and dignity is definitely important, you know what I'm saying? Maintain who you are. Never be afraid to fail, because the only way you succeed is knowing where your flaws are, and keep banging. Of course, join the Urban Wall Street Business Club. We're doing some amazing things around the world in about 20 countries, hitting 30 million viewers. So it's a beautiful time right now at the Urban Wall Street. I want to thank my guest, Mr. Kenya Abdul-Hadi again, Meezan Art Couture. Check it out. It's a lovely situation. Until next time, keep your head up. Peace. Man, I like that. I like that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's what's up, man. So you